Good morning.
Good morning.
It is June 3rd, sunny, bright Wednesday here in Oklahoma City, which
Yes.
makes me super excited because we are having a barbecue tonight at our Crossroads Youth.
Yes.
I have extended many invitations, but if you were in the Oklahoma City area and you are between grades 6 and 12, come out and join us. There's free food, all you can eat. It's going to be ice cream. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be music.
Yes,
worship.
Jack will be there. And he's at the age right where he's starting to eat table food. So I just feed him a little bit of everything. It's pretty fun to watch. So
get there quick because he'll eat 6 hot dogs.
Yes. Huh. Amen.
Amen. My name is Adam. I'm the youth pastor at Crossroads Church. My lovely wife who just snorted on this morning's devotional is Sydney, but I promise you she is so graceful in person. And we have a son named Jack. We have been reading Jesus Calling every morning by Sarah Young, starting off our day correctly with God. He wants our obedience. He is a principled, orderly God. And if we are obedient to Him, do you know our life becomes that? Principled,
Yes.
orderly. Our God is not chaotic.
No.
I heard somebody yesterday say, God didn't create the fish before He created the water. He does things in order. And I don't know why this just came to me, because I was talking to somebody yesterday about anxiety, and we tend to put so much pressure on ourselves, thinking that it is us that's going to make or break the situation. And if we can always just remember, our God is a God of order. He has laid out our day long before we arrived here at this moment. It is simply our duty to serve Him and be obedient in the blessings and the trials. But He already knows what's going to happen, and so nothing surprises Him. I just want to try and pass this on, that nothing should surprise us either.
I was just thinking about millions of fish coming down from the sky in the water. God's like, oops.
Nope.
Should have done that differently.
Doesn't happen. Take comfort in that.
I know that when I started following Christ, life became much less chaotic, and I used to think maybe chaos makes it fun, or maybe, life's supposed to be this way, or there's supposed to be a little undertone of that all the time. But it's not supposed to be like that, and it's still fun when you're not living life not knowing what the next hour is going to hold. I promise, it's still fun. And it's really fun knowing that I'm going to go to bed every night before midnight.
Oh man, the peaceful order that Jesus can bring to people's lives is priceless. Oh, it is so nice. But I digress. Today, June 3rd, reads, I want to be central in your entire being. When your focus is firmly on me, my peace displaces fears and worries. They will encircle you, seeking entrance, so you must stay alert. Let trust and thankfulness stand guard, turning back fear before it can gain a foothold. There is no fear in my love, which shines on you continually. Sit quietly in my love light while I bless you with radiant peace. Turn your whole being to trusting and loving me. The verses underneath read, Now may the Lord of peace Himself give you peace at all times and in every way. The Lord be with all of you. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 16. And there is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love. Man, that is some wisdom for our youth or anyone searching right now. That is 1 John chapter 4, verse 18. Man, that is
It is so good. The first thing that I thought about while I was reading this is my peace displaces fears and worries. The picture that came into my mind was that Satan has all these little, like men, like a little army. One of them is fear, one of them is pride, one of them is worry, one of them is sin, whatever. And as you're walking your path, he sends these little men of his army out to just kind of follow you, just to be close to you, so that if you stumble, if you fall, if you turn around the wrong way, they get you. And I imagine God shining this light on you that fear and anxiety and worry cannot touch. Cannot penetrate the light to get to you. And so it's important to stay close to God so you always have that light shining on you, because Satan is never going to stop just, sending out his army of anxiety, worry, whatever. He's never going to, those things are never going to go away. But, can I proceed? But God's light will send them away. He will make sure that they don't come near you. That's what I thought, so.
I love that. I love the idea of just walking in the light.
Yes.
We should all strive every day to walk in the light. And it could, because in the light exists love and peace and joy. And it is only when we start to wander out of the light of his presence that we get into the shadows, and then even into darkness, where anxiety and depression and fear and all these other things live.
Yep.
God's light is perfect and holy, and we should strive every day to stay as close to that as possible. The word that stuck out to me, and I think this is where some people may, I don't want to say fail at, but fail to practice, is it says, when your focus is firmly on me, my peace displaces fears and worries. And I think some people who are unable to rid themselves of fear and anxiety is because they do not have their focus firmly on Jesus.
You can't be
and
half
God.
in and half out.
Absolutely. Our God is not a God of mediocrity. He is not a lukewarm God. He wants our entire being.
Yep.
And so consulting with Jesus or God is an afterthought. Like, maybe he can help me in this. He doesn't want to see that.
Nope.
He wants to see us with childlike faith when we are hurt, looking up for simple comfort through faith for him to take away our pain or our worries or anxiety. And that's when the Holy Spirit will just wash it away or protect you completely in the first place.
Yes, it's not a half and half thing. You can't kind of trust God with some things and then be like, I got this. I'll take care of it, God. It's okay. He doesn't that's not how it works.
Yes.
God, exactly like you said, you have to come to him 100%. He'll never force you. He gives us free will. We talk about this all the time. You gotta reach your hand up, but as soon as you do, he will yank you so far out of that dark hole that you're in, man. It'll give you whiplash. It'll break your neck in half.
The more you ask God for help, the more you lift up your hand to be rescued, the more obedient you're being, because he wants that every second. He doesn't want us to rely on ourselves because we are so imperfect and we are so all over the place. The more you do it, the more you're going to feel his presence.
And the more that you're going to trust that God's going to show up. Just like any relationship, you got to build trust, whatever. Because I know I was kind of skeptical at first. I was like, okay, we'll see. And the more that I gave it over to God, he never failed me. He never failed to show up. He never failed to perform miracles in my life. And it got easier and easier and easier to reach my hand up when I needed him, to where until now, I do it without even thinking. The first thing I turn to is prayer and God and the Bible and what God runs my life now. It's not a matter, I don't question him. I don't doubt him. And for me, it took trusting him a couple times. This is kind of like a relationship with a person. You gotta, build up trust. But the nice thing about God is he's not like a person in this sense. He doesn't even have the ability to fail you like us as imperfect human beings can, whether it be on purpose or on accident. God doesn't have that capability. That's why he's the one true perfect God. He will never fail you.
And that is where the perfect love comes in. His love is perfect. It's not like
flawed.
Human love, which is flawed with all of these things. I want to just circle back, let trust and thankfulness stand guard, which I read as if we are always putting our trust in God, in Jesus, and if we are always thankful for our circumstance, those acts of spiritual sacrifice stand guard around us throughout the day. That is a safe haven. If you are constantly in that frame of mind of trust and thankfulness, regardless of your circumstances, then fear and anxiety cannot get past those. They are our strongholds.
Yep.
If you will.
Man. I'm such a visual, like, when I read stuff, I paint this, like, wild picture in my head, which is funny because I'm not creative, like, I'm not creative, I'm not artistic. God gave me one, like, real solid ability, and I can type really fast. But I'm not creative, so it's wonderful because I paint this picture in my head, so I like the idea of you're walking in the light, you have these little army men out inside your light circle that, like, you know, fight off these bad guys, and I just... today's devotionals got me excited. Anyways, proceed. I could tell you wanted to say something.
No, I love that. You drew me into your illustrations. I was running my own movie in my head. I love it. Well, we hope you guys are having an amazing day, the most blessed day. Get outside, enjoy wherever it is that you live. So let's spread some love and kindness. You know, God's perfect love in us is not for us to keep to ourselves.
Share it.
God pours his love into us to the point of overflowing so that it will run out and affect not only us but the people around us.
Yep.
So get out and spread some love today. Let's make this world a better place, one person at a time.
Yes.
We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow, God willing.
See you later. It's like the guy at the car wash.
I'm rich in pacifiers, Mommy.